One, we've got our Chicago Bears going on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football.
Man, this whole Josh Dobbs thing and everything, it's all cute. It's all cute. He has no eyebrows and this isn't a Make-A-Wish. This is the NFL. And Vikings lost to the Broncos, come from behind, win everything. They kind of gave it up and choked it up a little bit there. Uh, I'm gonna give this game to the Bears. I think they showcased a lot of nice things. Against the Lions. I was right. I think on all the courts. I think we were both right. Right. Um, a lot. The Bears defense has been performing really well the past couple of weeks. I think they'll slow down the Vikings offense, whatever they have left. Whether they do have, if Justin Jefferson does play or not. I think they'll be able to stifle a little bit on Jordan Addison, kind of control that game, and then any type of run game. I feel like the Bears have a really strong run defense, like top 2, I think, in the league, right? So they'll be able to stop anything that they got, I think, offensively going there. And then on the Bears offensive side against the Vikings defense, Justin Fields, he's been playing a lot smarter. I think he's got as much confidence as he's had of late, and that really goes far, I think, from the quarterback side. Maybe there's a kind of a blessing in disguise of like what's happened with this whole Tyson Badgett thing. It's like, maybe we can like win by making just some small plays. Like I don't necessarily have to, make all these explosive down the field plays. Although, he definitely has the capabilities of doing so, especially with DJ Moore. But if the coaching could just be like not that stupid and like, maybe go for the 4th and 1, right? In the red zone there, and or you just be smart, I think, with the football and kind of their decision making. Then I think that the Bears can pull off the victory here. They're also 3.5 point underdogs. The Bears are, in Minnesota. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of things going momentum wise for the Bears here. Like what I saw against the Lions, and they just got to clean it up. I think it was no team had lost a game when they had 40 minutes time of possession and then 3 takeaways, which the Bears had. And and then they lost that game. So just a lot of stupid things like that. And then, also giving that touchdown to Jamison Williams, right? That was just atrocious. Like, how do you allow that 32-yard touchdown with like 2.5 minutes remaining? That was just bad football, I think, bad scheming or bad coaching, and just stupid play by the secondary. I think that can only happen so often. So hopefully that gets corrected here. But yeah, I see a road victory here for the Bears.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm going with the Bears. It's very rare that I go with the Bears. I think this is the first time I've gone with the Bears this season. But I think last game put to bed this idea of a Fields versus Badgett competition, because Fields matched Badgett in his passing game, and then added 100 yards rushing on the ground. I mean, that is the X factor. Like that is what he needs every week. Every week, I want to see Justin Fields rushing for 80 to 100 yards. And then give me what you can give me in the air. Don't turn the ball over. But if you can give me 150, 200 yards, like there you go. That's a 300-yard passing game. So emphasize his strengths. Play to his strengths. He's a unconventional, different type of quarterback. We all know it. We all get it. But, when you're trying to make him a pocket passer, like that's not going to play to his strengths. And he came out and was obviously hungry. I think having Badgett, have success, having some debate about who's the quarterback in Chicago definitely lit a fire under his ass. And like, whatever you do with Fields going forward, always make sure you have a strong number 2 behind him, because I think his first couple of years in Chicago, he's not been set up to win, nor he's been really asked to win in a lot of ways. I think they've kind of wanted, those Bears teams to be extra stinky so they can continue to build a team around him. So I think him just understanding what it's going to take to win football games is important. But, through 3.5 quarters of that game, they were in control. They were, playing some really great inspired football, and they have been doing that in the last couple of weeks. And, this is a different team than where it started at the start of the year, the past couple of years. So, they're continuing to kind of build on it. They're building, I think they have a lot of team chemistry, like player to player. We don't necessarily love, the scheming, the coaching, the coaches themselves. But I think this team knows what it's going to take And, just out on the opposite side of the ball, I mean, Minnesota is obviously played above their heads this year for what they are and who they have, roster wise. I think they took a very tough loss in Denver, for Monday Night Football, but or I should say Sunday Night Football. But in the same sense, they're down. If they're down JJ, they bring back Dobbs. Madison had a better game, but like you said, against the Bears, top ranked rushing defense. I mean, that might get contained, might get cut off. So in a lot of senses, it's like, what else can they come with with, and how are they gonna push the agenda? I mean, again, it's the Chicago Bears. Like, we're not talking about a top five team or anything like that, but I think the Bears need to get on the board with a win. I think just as a team, I think they are hungry for a W, and they'll come out and get it on Monday.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely is this point. Like, this is the first, I think. I know he had like 7 games right now. He's gonna have 6 games to showcase kind of what he got. It's like build the confidence, I think, within the organization, with the fan base, that he is the guy that we don't need to draft. Mister, I want equity into the organization or the franchise, Caleb Williams, or another UNC quarterback in Drake May, right? Like anybody with a decent eye of talent, like, can see that Justin Fields has just as much talent as any of those guys. And yeah, like, why do we have to keep on just, I think there's like, everybody just wants to play Madden, right? Where they just want to, like, all right, this quarterback didn't really work out. Let's go to the next one. This quarterback didn't really work out, or isn't like an all pro caliber type of player, like, year 3 even. Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Justin Fields, obviously, it's the coaching and such and the scheming, right? But then, getting hurt too, that certainly doesn't help. And his one of the biggest assets you can have is availability, right? So now hopefully he'll be available for the next 6 games and should be able to showcase that. Because yeah, it'd be nice to have, like, okay, we don't have to concentrate on those quarterbacks. Let's get Marvin Harrison Jr. and then let's load up the either the offensive line or the defensive line of the ball, because I think both could maybe use some upgrades here and there. We'll see. I think the jury's still out a little bit on Braxton Jones. It was kind of hilarious. I think he's like, when they took him out, and he said like, "Oh, I can't fucking see," or something like that. I think I think it might have been a concussion protocol. I'm not exactly sure, but he's been solid though. Like, I don't feel terrible about having him, and I know we just have Larry Borum, and then obviously Darnell Wright. His rookie year, he gets a lot of penalties, Darnell Wright, but then I think year 2. I mean, that's just a typical thing. I think year two, he will be better. But yeah, if we can get like a Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, or something like that on the defensive side of the ball, like that, just I think makes our entire team a whole lot more impactful if we can have those level players, and then maybe draft like a center or sign a center in free agency. Because I we've been kind of yo-yoing with like Lucas Patrick, or I don't know, Cody Whitehair. I think we just need to solidify that. So, and then maybe just add some vets here and there where it makes sense. So, I don't know. I feel like that can be a recipe for success. And then, coaching, hopefully they just get better. I don't know. Wish that scenario was just better overall, where we had, maybe more experienced people there to help complement Eberflus or something, right? So, but anyway, yeah, like the Bears, I think this game, Vikings, I think it was fun and nice, but and O'Connell is a really good coach. I actually really like him. Wish that the Bears got him instead, but hey, it is what it is. And I just like where the Bears are going for right now and for this game.
Yeah, ditto on the game. On both of your notes, I think the thing that I'm looking for in this draft is for us to repeat what we did last year in terms of our setup of draft capital. Just repeat it. If we get the number 1 pick through Carolina, what I'm looking at is trying to move down to maybe that second, third, fourth slot, whatever's going to keep Marvin Harrison on the board. Hey, and let's play, make a deal, come with us, come at us with your best offer. You're going to include, first next year, you're going to include maybe another starting player for us, and you're going to give us a pick swap at number 2, 3, or 4. You want Caleb Williams? That's the price. Let's pay it up. Then if the Bears have a top 10 pick, we're able to take, like you're saying, maybe it's an edge rusher, maybe it's a good lineman, maybe it's something else, but We got 2 first rounders this year. We got some future stuff, maybe an extra starter in any deal. That's the way I'm looking at that. Coaching wise, I'm assuming we're going to be near the bottom of the standings. I'm assuming we're going to have a lot of up and down for the rest of this year. I don't know if Eberflus is the guy. You've mentioned that, but who knows what's going to happen with Jim Harbaugh over in Michigan? If Harbaugh gets let go, I want all in on that. That's the guy I want, because this guy has had success at every single program he's gone to, whether it be Stanford, the San Francisco 49ers, Michigan. He's always found that, and he's been able to develop great quarterbacks. If you just look down the line, I mean, he turned Colin Kaepernick into something. That's a guy who could model, a lot of what Justin Fields brings to the game. We're looking at JJ McCarthy right now at Michigan as well. His brother John has learned a lot about coaching Lamar Jackson. I'm sure he could pick up the phone and say, "Hey, bro, what do you know about Lamar? How do you scheme for him?" Not to mention, Jim played quarterback for the Bears, would probably love to live in Chicago, would probably love to get out of the NCAA and get back into the pro ranks. Like, where else would this guy want to go but Chicago? So give me John Harbaugh. Bye bye Eberflus. If the Colts want to pick you up as their D coordinator, super. Let's clear out the deck, and we'll see how Justin Fields does for these last 6 or 7. But to be honest with you, I'm more or less in favor of Fields just needing, the right personnel, upgrade that roster just a little bit further, get a new coach in that knows how to scheme for his talent. And man, I think this team will be really on the night, like on the next, the next path here to success, starting in 2024, from what I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks or so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that could actually be a good recipe for success. Is just all right, let's build the roster. Yeah, maybe let's bring in somebody more proven, such as a John Harbaugh, whether it be this coming off season. It's like, oh John, you don't like regulations and stuff like the NCAA loves, like come to the NFL. And remember that thing you had a lot of success with, and going to championship games and such. So I mean, yeah, I would love to have John Harbaugh. I think
Jim
there's like kind of
Harbaugh, Jim,
oh
Jim.
Jim Harbaugh, yeah,
Yeah.
not the Ravens coach and everything, but yeah, but I think there's a lot of I think there was a rumor I heard about how Harbaugh like wanted he just wants to go back to the NFL. He's tired of this whole NCAA thing, right? So he kind of leaked this whole thing about like films or whatever. We're filming people. It's like everybody does it, right? I think it's pretty known. Like everybody does this, but it's kind of like steroids, I guess, right? It's frowned upon, or if it hits the media, like your casual fan is just going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, or something like that, or people make memes and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, I think that I'd love to see Harbaugh back in the NFL, and it'd be funny though to see Harbaugh with an Ohio State quarterback, and then Marvin Harrison, Ohio State wide receiver as well. But hey, if he wins, honestly, I don't care about any of that. So yeah, I'd love to see Harbaugh, and then just build an awesome roster. I think around Justin Fields. Sweat's upgraded the defensive line already, and I think if we can add in another young edge rusher in the draft, that would be perfect. I think setup for the next several years.
For sure. No, I'm with you.